So, and we know Pavel's the
Spiteful Zoo.
Spiteful Zoo. So, if you can get on board, not going to see the board clear. Well, the Nether on turn 8, but this is going to be quite a big board before turn 8.
Yeah, and so you can see the bans there on your screen as well. Muzzy looks like that he's had his Paladin taken away. And on Pavel's side, Muzzy bans out the Rogue from Pavel. And I know you said you practiced a lot with this lineup. When I spoke briefly with him about it, he said that Control Warlock was really a big ban of his.
Yep, and no matter the rest of the lineup, that would be the ban. But Pavel with the Zoo, the Rogue just has more tools than the other aggro decks against aggro decks. Backstab, SI Agent, things like that. So you want to get that out of there. But Pavel is sort of the more mid-range aggro decks. So the Paladin can really get under those mid-range decks and make bigger creatures and be able to.
Yeah, so I just got word that some of the sound that we're hearing is Pavel pulled up a YouTube video of rain sounds.
Oh, I do hear that now. That's nice.
Just to, like, help him focus.
Yeah.
Is that the secret?
I don't know if we should tell anybody.
Well, we just told everybody.
Take it back.
Yeah, I take it back. I rescind the statement. Not going to let Flo rescind the backstab statement, and we're definitely not going to rescind the coin Edwin statement either.
This is looking very good here.
This looks like Pavel's in trouble.
Yeah.
Those Fireflies are not going to do it.
No. We're going to need something like a Spellbreaker. Well, a Spellbreaker. There's nothing else really like it. So.
Well, it's like Iron Beak Owl. It's just not in the deck.
It's definitely not in the deck.
Yeah, and you see that Spiteful Summoner in Pavel's hand as well. 2 copies of Twisting Nether are the only spells in his deck. And spoiler alert, there is no Spellbreaker.
He's going to have a hard time here. I mean, the Doomguard's going to have to come down next turn just to fight as best as he can, and he's going to need to hold on to that Spiteful Summoner.
And it's not going to stick. I mean, the Serenite Chain Gangs are going to really put Pavel to the test here. And again, Muzzy taking advantage of the open deck list here. He knows that there's no way Pavel can take advantage of these 1-2s over now.
Not at all. And Muzzy with 13 power on board. Going to get 2 of it removed. And the Spiteful Summoner gets discarded. So not going to be able to have a big potential swing turn here. It's just Chain Gangs will get in the way for the Warlock, but I don't think it's going to block enough damage.
This is about as dire as it gets, I'd say.
Put him to 1 here.
Another big thing to look at is just Muzzy's aggression in this game. The moment that Edwin Van Cleef didn't get checked at all, Muzzy went for the throat. And that's one of the big times to look for aggression, is you get a priority minion out, and if your opponent doesn't answer it, it's likely this is your window of opportunity.
Yep. He recognized his role at that point in the game, and it was to rush down Pavel before he could play all the expensive cards in his hand.
And that's where Zoo Warlock, I think, struggles the most against a deck like Rogue, is the sheer aggression that Rogue can bring is often too much.
Yep. Zoo without the reactive options. No Soulfire in that deck, which can be a good tempo play when you're trying to fight back on board.
But now the true battle is...
And again, I think having the Soulfire in the deck really helps Muzzy.
Yeah, because these are very drastically different Zoo decks that we're seeing.
It's all minions for Pavel, all the way up till 8.
Till Twisting Nether.
But
no Blood Reaper on.
That's true. That changes how you can play the matchup. Against Zoo, a lot of times you want to put them in a position where they're dead on turn 9. Or even if they played Gul'dan, the board's not going to be big enough. Your board is so big. But if you know Gul'dan's not there, you can just kill every minion. And they're never going to have that huge, massive board in 1 turn.
And that's often like a part of your gameplay anyway, is kill all the minions. But the aggression factor matters a lot when your opponent has Gul'dan and you don't.
If you have Gul'dan on the deck, you might not have the liberty to kill all the minions, because then you risk them playing Gul'dan on 10 and then you never come back from that. So,
how do the Twisting Nethers ever impact that moment? One player then has deal 3, heal 3.
Yeah.
And you still have take 2, draw 1.
Doesn't line up very well for that player. Pavel with a much better hand this time, though.
That is definitely true.
Yeah. Cheap minions, Corridor Creeper to follow it up.
Uh-oh.
Muzzy Sand with Blur.
It's back. That's a pretty good draw off of that
It
little
is.
kobold, man.
Oh, it is. It's going to get in the way of that 2-1 real nice.
That-
We'll take that flame imp.
That makes this hand look much worse on Pavel's end.
Yeah. He does not have a good way to deal with this. He's just going to have to play some 1-drops out there and get that corridor creeper down for cheap and hope Muzzy doesn't have it, which he doesn't right now.
I wonder if...
The real battle, of course, Nemzi versus Gul'dan.
Oh. I mean, I'm a Gul'dan gamer.
I'm a Nemzi gamer.
Okay.
Float looks taken aback.
All right. But Muzzy's hand, Sousy Captain, the best turn 3 play, like, in the game. It gets so much power on board, and it's almost like a removal spell.
It's like an SI7 agent.
Better. It's riskier, because, you know, you got to put patches in your deck,
You
but
just don't have to combo it.
that's true.
Now, does that change anything?
I'd give up 1 buff. It's fine. The 2/2's so good here.
It's really good. Like, Pavel's losing his entire board,
Yeah.
looks like.
A lot of minions are going to 1 health, though. And we see the Despicable Dreadlord, albeit a turn off. But that's something Muzzy has to keep in mind. Maybe he goes 2-1 into 2-1. Or
I kind of like
some
it.
trades a little differently.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's what he's thinking about.
Maybe he just goes face.
Could do that. Might want to protect the Voidwalker. It is doing a good job of just getting in the way.
He's doing a really good job of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. If he trades the 2-1s, it goes face. Like, Corridor Creeper can't come down yet. There's definitely reasons to not make too many trades here.
Yeah, I think I like the 2-1 into 2-1 just because of the awkward turn it sets up for Pavel.
Yep.
And that often is like one of the biggest points you see. Oh, wow. Interesting.
2-1 into 1-2. So,
Now, why would he do that?
I'm not sure. I mean, the Voidwalker has the kill lined up on this Librarian. That's for sure. On the 1-2, the 1-2 was not dead. If it was able to make an attack without dying. So, there's that advantage.
Interesting play. And Pavel, not coining yet, I think really starts to telegraph this Despicable Dreadlord. And I think this is one of Muzzy's strong suits, is being able to sniff out these styles of plays and figure out what's going to be strong as a result. Like, look at that Flame Imp. That Flame Imp could have easily run over that Voidwalker. He's like, nah, I'll damage the captain.
Definitely. There he goes, trading the 1 health minion. And now just going face. So
Wow.
now, everything's at 2. Voidwalker's in the way. Dreadlord, not a great play here. Might have to do it anyway. Chain Gang's got 2 attacks, though.
Yeah, Chain Gang is very good at setting up Dreadlords as well.
Yeah.
Not only that, he gets to coin the Creeper with it.
That's a really good point. So, that had to be one of the best draws in Pavel's deck.
Yeah, Saturday Chain Gang is such an interesting card to me because, like, the first time I played against it, it was in a Control Warlock deck, and I was like, this is really weird. And then what I realized is as I started to attack, I was like, wow, I can't play around Defile or Despicable Dreadlord very well. And it just makes a lot of sense in Zoo. Like, it fuels your Corridor Creepers, you drop Prince Keleseth, it's huge gas. And here, it's doing a tremendous job at fighting against the pressure that Muzzy's providing and setting up a Dreadlord for later on.
Exactly. And 2 taunts is twice as good as 1. Just blocking, 2 attacks from larger creatures, that does a lot for you and gives you a chance to come back into games. And that's what it's going to do here.
Disruption's a hard tool to find in Hearthstone, but these are the kinds of cards that do it.
Yep. And now, Muzzy can't make any value trades here. Doesn't have a great... He can't really spend his mana. I guess that Corridor Creeper could get quite cheap here.
Yeah, that's coming down this turn,
Yeah.
I imagine. Where does the rest of this go, though?
Yeah, so much of the board. How cheap can this thing get?
I mean, it could
Goes in
technically
1.
get free.
Well, it could go to 0. But
Is there any chance Muzzy kills this Corridor Creeper? No way, right?
looks like he's going for
Oh.
it. Play that in Soulfire. I like this.
Wow.
That 6/6 Corridor Creeper just dominates the board here now. It's just the 6/8 Doom Guard. That was going to be strong. But look at Pavel's life total.
Second Doom Guard. They travel in packs.
He's got to go with the Dreadlord here, but it just removes 1 damage.
Muzzy the entire game has fought against the possibility of Despicable Dreadlord. Every single step that's been on his mind. And now he's got Pavel into this absolutely dreadful-looking spot.
It's incredibly awkward here for Pavel. Muzzy has ways to spend his mana, but he's got to attack into that Dreadlord.
And I'm thinking if I'm in Muzzy's spot here, how does, maybe second Dreadlord look? How does a Doomguard look? Are there more trades lined up? Or is it just face?
No, it's just face, I think.
Pavel's getting awfully low.
4 is really low.
Yeah, and 6 is a lot of damage.
Yeah. When you shut off the life tap from Zoo, it gets a lot weaker when it draws 1 card a turn. And it's just very likely minion stays alive. That Tar Creeper at 4/6 when it's Pavel's turn. It's already good at a 3/5. 4/6? That's a 5 mana card. Wow. Muzzy is usually a face gamer, I gotta admit.
He really wants those 2/1s.
So, but Pavel's best play here might be the second Dreadlord or something. With the Bone Mare follow-up, he's still pushing 8 next turn.
Yeah, it's a true story.
So I think Muzzy might have said it's not. I don't need that 6. Just get him next turn.
This is pretty much going to wrap it up.
Yeah, he's going to get him here.
This is setting Pavel down 2-1.
Yeah.
And
yeah, Pavel, he would never be able to get the resources from that position.
No, not a chance. And so now 2-0 lead for Muzzy. We have yet to see Pavel land a Spiteful Summoner. It's in 3 of his decks. But the aggression that Muzzy is packing across the board is trying to choke off that timeline. Even the defensive-oriented cards in Pavel's deck have not been effective yet.
Yep. And usually in these aggro matchups, if you're a step faster, that's right where you want to be. You want to be able to get under. Because usually the faster decks won't have the removal tools. And if they're playing from behind, they're not going to be able to get there. So if you just get in under it, you're going to be able to get that early face damage and close out the game.
Yeah. It's like you want to be slightly slower or like significantly faster.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the slightly slower scenario, you can outscale them. But if they're way faster than that, you never see that timeline.
That's what we're seeing here.
And now both players with Spiteful Summoner in deck. What do you think of this matchup? Because this is a totally different priest direction than I think anyone would have expected.
I love this priest deck. This is sort of... There was the original list that had things more like Shadow Ascendant and things like that. And we kind of put in the Pirates and Galaka, which we see from Muzzy. And those just act as more removal spells. Being that you can't play spells, use minions to fill that slot with Duskbreaker, Captain, and Galaka to try and get you through the early game. And the late game of this deck, it can outvalue basically anything.
Spiteful Summoner is a heck of a card.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's Duskbreaker. That is a big pickup for Muzz.
Massive. Muzzy's hand is phenomenal.
His hand was honestly looking, I think, considerably weak.
Yeah.
Right up until that Dragon draw. So now it activates the Netherspite Historian. He's got that board clear available. Captain, Tar Creeper, a lot of defense there. I'm curious who has the edge at this point. Second Duskbreaker.
That's easily the best dragon he could have picked up. So, and now we're going to see this Captain, I believe, on the next turn. Well, we'll see if Pavel plays this Imp, then maybe we coin the Duskbreaker. But whoever gets the Summoner down first could be crucial, and whether or not Muzzy gets a 10-drop or an 8-drop.
Yeah, that's
so
a
there's
much
the
bigger
Mind
difference.
Control and the Free from Amber in the deck. 10 drops are going to trade favorably into Pavel's 8-drop. A lot. But if they both get 8s, then Pavel could get ahead.
Sometimes the 10s can fail, though. I'm thinking...
There is a fail rate.
The Cthulhu, Yogg-Saron.
The old gods.
They're still huge.
They're big.
It's a lot bigger than Cairn.
Yeah. But Deathwing.
You can see the importance of Muzzy and the thought on the Spiteful Summoner that you alluded to. Getting the first Spiteful Summoner is the big turning point. He could have coined Duskbreaker, had a phenomenal-looking board. Just clear skies and let Pavel redevelop.
But the first Summoner, I think, is really important. I'm a little surprised he didn't go with the Captain. I think the Captain could have been good. The patches would have traded into the 3-1. Muzzy would have had a 3-3 against a 2-1, but Tar Creeper does a fine job of clearing the board here. Oh. This is a nice... It's not the dream Duskbreaker, but Duskbreaker into Chain Gang. That's rough for the Chain Gang.
I feel you kill a card and you get a card. That's a good card.
That's good. That's real good. And, yeah.
What are the benefits you think of saving the captain there? You think Corridor Creeper might have been on Muzzy's mind, just not putting up too much potential for explosiveness on Pavel's side, maybe?
Could be. I mean, it's still a removal spell. Like, he could draw the patches at some point, but it's just a removal option he has in his hand, something he can react to and actually deal damage with. The Tar Creeper is just going to go out there and block.
Yeah. And
those blocks were good enough on that turn. But that 2 damage could be crucial later on. Could be very good right here if he decides to go for it.
Yeah, that's about as good as I think it's going to get.
Yeah. You know, it's turn 5, you're playing Drakenov. I mean, Spiteful Summoner out first, also a good thing. He could just trade in, coin the Spiteful Summoner and to play a 5/5 Corridor Creeper. Seems pretty good to me.
You can start pressure here, too.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 damage is nothing to scoff at when you just add a 4/4 and, I don't know, let's say, like...
Charge?
That'd be a good one. Thinking, 7/14, for instance.
That's a lot of...
That's not dying.
No, 14... He didn't trade and play the 5/5. It's fine. He gets 3 face damage this way.
I like 3.
3's good. 3's good. So now this is only going to be an 8. Only an 8. Against the 7/14, you can say only an 8.
Thinking like Tyrion.
He's going to... Okay, that's going to spawn a 1/1.
Yeah.
Could be a 1/1 beast.
I was really surprised the first time that this card summoned anything. It summons a minion equal to your armor count at end of turn. And so since that's 0 for Pavel the entirety of the game, it's 1/1s.
It's 1/1s. Didn't get the beast. Got the Wisp. The original 1/1.
And Muzzy's hand is looking really good for this.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a pair of Duskbreakers, Corridor Creeper.
A Duskbreaker that he likes. And that is a good one.
Now the question is this 7 going upstairs?
I like trading a lot with this deck. That's just me, because when you get in a position like this, sure, there are Nethers in Pavel's deck, but then you just get the initiative back. You're just going to have bigger stuff for the rest of the game. If you don't let them deal damage to you, you're just going to have 25 damage on board one turn. You didn't need that 7
just
earlier.
Scales super hard.
Yeah.
Also the Bone Mare. 4/7's a big Bone Mare target.
True.
4/1?
No. Doesn't really fund a value trade here.
Not a significant one anyway.
No, yeah.
And so it's as you alluded to, that first Spiteful Summoner was huge for Muzzy. Just being able to offset early turns, using the Tar Creeper to block, having the Duskbreaker to just be a nuisance.
And he was able to trade with his big minion first.
Yeah, it's draw time for Pavel.
Yeah. Gets 4. That's a lot of cards. Muzzy has Operative, which replaces itself, Cleric, which draws. He's not going to be light on resources either. And again, this is where the No Gul'dan comes into play.
Oh, yeah.
Muzzy knows when turn 10 comes around, there's not going to be that full board of demons.
Look at this Duskbreaker. Like, this is massive. He gets the Northshire Cleric.
And he gets a draw card.
Keeps a 7 power guy.
Oh, he's just going to play his captain. Okay. This is good,
yeah,
too.
that's even better. That's just damage.
Even if the Nether were to come down, the reload is quite strong for Muzzy.
I am a little bit surprised by the non-draw, given that Pavel just drew 4 cards and 2 Nethers are in the deck.
He's just tempoing him out.
But that's
there was
enough
no
damage.
Nether. Muzzy gets the 3-0.
Making it look easy.
And it is not easy to play. I played against Pavel once, and he 3-0'd me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really close.